don't run after them. Okay, you try. If it fails, you let go. You let go, because there is someone out there, truthfully. There is someone out there.
But most of them are giving mixed signals. And most of them giving mixed signals.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like today they are for it, tomorrow they are not for it. Today they are not on the market, they are on the shelf, and then tomorrow they are your boo. So are you lucky?
Yeah, because we've had scenarios where a girl will go from having a rich guy to a poor guy, and then you wonder what is happening now. You wanted a rich guy, tall, dark, and handsome. You end up with I won't say.
A what?
Describe.
The total opposite. Broke, short,
light.
Guys, you leave the light-skinned guys alone. Leave the light-skinned guys
people,
alone.
we are sorry.
Yeah, so sometimes you do not know what women want. What do you want?
No, maybe they discovered that's not what they wanted, and just like you said, it's not one formula fits all. And now they discovered that. Do you know that the problem actually we have, most of the ladies, they have a description of the kind of ideal man that they want, but that's not the reality.
Yeah, that's not the reality
of who you are going to meet. So sometimes they fail to reconcile these two, and so they stick to the tall, dark, whatever it is, and they just don't find them.
I remember last time we had something on that, and we said, these people who describe what they want, they end up being single forever.
Yeah, single.
Yeah, too picky.
Yes, if you're too picky, I think, as he said, we have, the word should be our yardstick. Okay, even the reality, because the reality of it all, you might not want a light-skinned man, and they come when they are really protective, they're a provider, they're God-fearing, and all that.
Nice,
and then you feel like, okay, the characteristics are okay, but now the appearance.
But the appearance for who? It feels like we are taking people for a show off.
No, Bahati, that really, it has to matter.
It has to.
We talked about it the other time.
It has to, because now you're looking at also your offsprings and all that.
And also, please.
So me, I am a short woman. Why would I want a short man?
Truly. For your offspring.
Truly.
For your offspring.
So even if he comes when he's, even if he comes when he's a provider and he's God-fearing, but
would you refuse him if he came and he's your same height?
He's short.
No, same height. Same height. Then let's not call it short.
But I want someone taller than me.
But you say people like that tend to take longer.
Yes, but they will definitely eventually come. And also the point you talked of women are now, stepping up their game. I think by then, men were only taught how to handle women who are stay-home mothers. Yeah. And this generation has taught women to now stand up, work, but now they have left the men.
They're no longer the masses of the men or depending on them.
You're not teaching this man how to handle a woman who has money.
Yeah.
You only you taught them actually.
As the parent.
Yes, you taught them how to handle a woman as a wife, a home mother, but you're not teaching them that if a woman has studied, has more qualification, more than you, it is okay. You can still be a husband.
Be respected, and she can still
exactly.
Be loyal to
if the woman has more money, you can still be respected.
Yeah.
You see, now men take women who have money as a threat.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, you're a threat to me. You're going to undermine me. What? It's not that. You can be a man, and I can actually help you out.
But do you know that a woman can actually be poor and still undermine a man?
Yes. Oh my God, many of them.
And many of them.
You know them.
They don't have money. But even
Sente za someone who doesn't have money and you have bad manners.
Yeah, they want Sente za kameza. Come rain, come sunshine, they want it. But now a woman who knows how to make their money,
they know.
Really is when you ask for the money and your man says, man, today
it's hard.
It's hard. You've been there. You understand. But really, these men that are coming up, they are not trained how to handle women with money, with power. You get.
But the thing is, when it comes to the training, I think how our children learn the most is by mimicking and imitating. So when they see that their mother was a stay-home mother and their father mistreated or maltreated the mother, they take it as the gospel truth. That is how, like it's a formula for everyone. Not knowing that they are going into the world to meet other kinds of women, and so they don't have to treat the same. The way their father treated their mother is not the way they are going to treat the women out there. And so most times I think men have really burnt their fingers because they come with thinking, I'm going to put you down, I'm going to suppress you, I'm going to, and then all of a sudden the woman kakokola. Beats you, and then all of a sudden you're like, but all women are bad. But again, you must marry a woman. At the end of the day. So I think then they go, they start oscillating in that position of, I don't know my proper position, and I don't know how to respect myself enough. Take a step back, learn the things that I must learn, so that I can present myself as a worthy man to a worthy woman, that we can both have mutual respect and mutual loyalty, and be able to build this home into a happy home.
And I also think it comes down to identity. Like, people do not know who they are. People have looked at movies, people have looked at pictures and magazines and those plays. And, you know, so they imagine love to be a certain kind. And if we you know, but if we came to the reality, if we came to the baseline, if we came to the standard, which is the word, we need to teach our young children the word of God. Like, we need to cultivate some of these things in them, because not all of us grew up from families, you know, mom, dad. Some of us grew up from broken families. But the things that we are learning right now about family and marriage and relationships and all that is because of church. It's because of the word of God. We know that if a woman has money, her money is there, but she has to be submissive. The wife has to be submissive. Yes. So if we cultivate these things in the young ones, they will have a standard. Otherwise, most of the things that we are talking about, you know, tall, dark, and handsome, those are things that we look at from a carnal perspective. It is good, but that should not be the standard. That should not be. It should be something deeper.
What's the standard for your friend?
The word.
The word. The word.
Submissive.
The word you will look at the word and you're, now that is a hip.
A
word and now that is a leg.
You look at her and thank God that created her like that. Such a beauty, such. You know.
You're impossible.
right.
It has to connect to
so even if there is no nyash, you just thank God.
The reason that's why we are thanking God in the first place is because there is nyash. There's something you can see.
So you mean those who do not have nyash should not thank God?
They should thank God they have life.
Oh my God.
We should thank God for the things that you have. We should start from a point of gratitude. So if you don't have nyash, thank God
for life, not for life.
There's someone who has nyash, but they're on a hospital bed. So we thank God for life.
Edmond.
right.
And God created Edmond.
I cannot with Edmond. What?
But me, I think it all goes back to identity and also people informing themselves. Because yes, what you said is true. What people grow up seeing is what they eventually put into their lives, or is what eventually reflects in their lives. I love stories.
Please,
I love stories.
Butterfly, laying eggs. Please.
I have a friend of mine. She was dating this person, and of course, if you're dating me, we have a common vision. We have common values, and we are looking at ourselves getting married after a period of time. So you can't protect me when you cannot provide for me. And I'm not saying that everything has to come from the man, but this person approached the boyfriend. Of course, sometimes you can be low on cash. So approached the boyfriend and she's like, could you have me some money for hair? He's like, I'm not your father. Not with this thing of I'm insulting you, but that's how I've grown up. I've grown up seeing my sisters being given money for hair from their dad. So I'm not going to give you money for hair because I'm not your dad. So the girl was like, oh. She was like broken. Okay, of course I would also be broken. She was hurt. She's like, let me go make my money. So of course she figured it out. 1,000 things happened and she's like, you know what? This is not the right person for me. And if such a person went back and realized, why am I single? Is it because I don't give women money? Or is it because anything in my character, anything in my environment, what is it that is making me single for all this time? Because he's a mature man and he's ready for marriage, but he's still single because of certain things that
standards.
Yes, because of certain things that he's not allowing himself to change.
Standards, what are they called?
They are certain behaviors, certain habits that you don't want to let go of. Because if you go out and read, and there are books.
You will find him protecting that car behavior, even giving a scripture for it.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not going to provide for a woman. All I'm supposed to do is pray for them, take them on a date, drive them home, like, and not give her money for hair. Like, it just doesn't make romantic sense. You get? So men have to.
So Edmond, what do you give money for hair?
Yeah. All the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Actually, my girlfriend bought me this shirt.
Oh, and that
we buy things for each other.
that's lovely.
Yeah.
Just from sisterly love.
Yeah. Yeah, but there has to be a very big balance.
There has to be a. Do you hug?
Yeah, like
Like the distance one.
that Christian
hug, the side hug.
Don't come so close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like if you come close, what happens?
I go back. I
He withdraws.
You
He doesn't
extinguish the fire.
Yeah, I extinguish the fire. There has to be someone to extinguish the fire.
Hey.
Yeah, there has to be.
Because the fire is always
It has to be there.
Okay.
So someone has to
like go away.
I believe you see, being single is not bad. It's not bad. It is something everyone has to go.
It's a good place.
It's a good place to be. Yes.
To
and I think we should also teach these high school girls, mostly girls. They're afraid of being single because maybe they're not sure of themselves. Like a guy has not said, has not winked.
High school girls.
Girls, yes. A guy does
They feel
not
like
wink.
I'm not beautiful. I'm not validation.
Validation, of course. I remember those days of like you're young and someone winks at you like,
and you're like, yeah. I feel
it's
you.
me. So I feel like they have to feel beautiful from the word go. They have to feel pretty from the start. It is not a man to validate that. So I think being single is a good place to be in. It's something I've learned while growing up, that you prepare yourself. Gives you time to prepare yourself. Know which man you want. How do you want to be in a relationship? Like, how do you want to treat your man? Not these things of, he has come, now what should I do? You start learning when he's there.
Google.
When you have a boyfriend, 7 steps to win a man's heart. So you have to learn those things when you're there. Because the Bible says to everything there is a season. So that is a beautiful place to be in. I would encourage everyone there, like, of course, young girls there, ladies, you're in your late 20s, saying, it's not that. Maybe you made some mistakes back why you broke up with the person you were with. Maybe you weren't prepared enough. So this is your time to prepare, so that when man of God comes,
you treat him like...
Problem is, sometimes the preparation, I think we prepare, because he talked about the standard being the Bible, but remember, Bible is being preached by different people and their own perspective and opinion. Sometimes it's not really like, thus says the Lord, and it's from the mouth of God. So everyone is giving their own interpretation, and sometimes they're giving their own interpretation basing on where they are in their lives. And some men of God have skewed the word of God to a bad point to justify where they are in their lives. And so that means then we have a sheep, or sheep pens, or sheep flock from different places, having different interpretation of this same word that we call a standard. Okay, so one of them say women are less important, and another will show you you have to hold them in the highest regard. They're like a second god. You have to worship them. You adore them, and what? And another one will show you the reality of it's not all sweet and a bed of roses, but it is workable. It is doable, and you love each other. You forgive each other. They show you the reality. Now, all those people are going to come with different perspectives into their marriages, and there is a way we hold the word of men of God in high regard. Yeah. You know, Papa said this, and Papa said that. Mama. And then Mama does that,
but Papa
and all
says
that.
Women are less.
No, the problem is the devil has a very good timing.
Yeah.
Okay, he will time you when you're heartbroken, and you will hear from a papa that has a wrong messaging.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it will be a consolation.
You will believe it, and
you will take it.
That is why we also have to learn. You have to learn submission. You have to learn who do you listen to.
Who do you submit to?
Who do you submit to?
And
not
be very
everyone,
careful, because then they are providing mentorship.
Yeah, exactly.
And is that mentorship taking you to a place that you really want?
Not everyone that's going to speak, really, you're going to take in. Yeah.
We need to prepare discernment.
Oh yes, you have to discern who is the right person. And also, the person speaking is a human being, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, these men of God can make mistakes. So God gave you the wisdom.
Read your
design.
own,
Yeah. You get. We listen to a lot of YouTube videos. Remember, what you search is what comes.
Yeah.
So you search singleness. They bring a lot of people speaking. So you have to discern who is right and who is wrong. So last time I was sharing my sister out there, and she told me being single is partly a calling. And I disagree.
Being single is partly a calling.
Yes.
Sister and Butterfly said that.
Yes.
So and I disagree. Is not laying eggs.
I disagree. So if he sits you down to tell you where she comes from, to call it a calling, you would actually
believe. And they have a convincing tongue when they're talking about something that they believe in.
So you start saying, oh, wow, it's my
They will even tell you how you will feel like they have more Holy Spirit than you.
Yes.
You feel like Jesus is leaving you out on this party.
I disagreed with her. I used, of course, even if he sits me down to tell me how it is a calling, I am not believing. Because
to you it's not.
To me it's not.
Yeah.
It's a season I have to go through, and then I outgrow it. I get into marriage.
And a happy marriage.
For you it might be a season to go through.
So Sister Butterfly believes she has to remain single.
No.
Why are we extinguishing?
No, I'm not remain single. It's a calling to someone out there.
Why do you believe it's a calling to others when
not
it's
you?
Not yours?
Because maybe they've
decided. You have a lot of fire.
No, not a lot of fire. There are people that are really not interested. Because actually, I also thought I would grow, go for further studies, become a very rich, prominent woman. But I got to a church that adores family. I got to a church that loves couples, loves marriage, loves family, and that family is a foundation that God laid. Marriage is a foundation that God laid for family. But throughout that thinking of I'm going to be prominent and rich and whatsoever, I wanted to have a family. I wanted to have children because I grew up with a single mom.
But you, not a man, but children.
Yes, not a man, but children. But moving into a church that God placed me in, I felt like, wow. So I actually really need to be married. I need to
have a wholesome family.
Yeah, I need to say I do. I need to like have these things systematically.
You can be prominent when you're married.
No, this is what I believed. Now my mind is a whole new thing. That is back then.
So so now you no longer believe you can be prominent and rich?
No, of course I do, and I am. Yeah, I believe I can. Marriage is also a venture of growth. Yeah, like I can be prominent and grow with my spouse.
Oh yes,
and your children.
Yes, and my children. Yes. Seeing mommy growing, seeing daddy thriving, but as a team. So me, that was what I believed back then. But right now that I'm in a better church and I bless God for my church, I know that someone out there is really not interested. Not family, not children. They just want to live and serve God and maybe be prominent. And
but what is the right thing?
Why aren't they interested?
Maybe I've not gone deeper into that.
No, because there has to be a reason.
There has
Someone
to be a
cannot
reason.
just wake up and say, unless God created them without a single emotion, without a single excitement in their body, like nothing, 0, 0, 0, and that cannot be true.
Cannot be true.
That cannot be true. It has to be because of a frustration they went through, or they saw someone going through, and then they come to a conclusion of, I don't think it's worth it.
Like, let me just
let me just let it be. I really think being single, enjoying my life, and some rich aunties make us feel like being single is okay. You know those rich aunties vibes.
I know.
They're driving their own cars, staying in their own apartments,
they
and
come
living,
back anytime
going
they
out
want.
and in any time. They can mislead you.
Not asking them where are you going.
And some of them be there disturbing young boys, young men.
Not disturbing, but what is the better word for disturbing? A deeper word for disturbing. Deeper word for
Edmond maybe has an experience. Give us that gift.
So
they be getting into entanglements and web cobwebs with younger men.
The young energetic men.
Have you ever experienced that, Edmond?
What?
An older woman, rich auntie disturbing you.
Yeah, but we put on the faith to
First tell us the experience. Give us that.
I wouldn't really say I have a vivid memory. But
so wait, like she was winking at you?
Texting.
Oh,
and I told her, start and get behind. I have a strong message for the young men out there, the ones that are in this period of singleness. Just use this time to work, make money, work on your body, learn a skill. Just use this time to be at season of chastening. Let God do things through you first before He can do things through you for another person, because now you're getting a responsibility. When you have a woman, you have a responsibility.
It's a whole lot, a different ballgame altogether.
Just do things that you think you have to do, like be a better person. Don't let someone come into your life and then they have now to start improving you. Yes, it is good, but let them find
work
you on the
yourself.
journey. Yes. So I think the problem with the young men out there, we get into relationships and we do not even know how. We can't even take care of ourselves.
And we want others to take care, care of others.
And it's deeper than just the money. It goes.
Before we get into this entanglement with Edmond, let's first take a sip of water and think critically about the gentleman, because we're going to start right there. I think gentleman is a whole wide subject to talk about when he talks about preparation, because for women we've been prepared and over prepared and sometimes we over prepare a bit gisa. And then the men on the other side, they feel like njagalanga bwendi. So we're coming right back.
Spirit TV, a place for you.
Did you know that you can acquire a skill in less than 3 months? Dynamic Media School skills you in TV and radio presenting, motion graphics, graphics designing, control room management, show production, audio production, confidence building, lighting and videography, personal branding, social media management, cinematography, video editing, marketing and sales, and effective communication. This is designed to provide practical skills and hands-on experience with the focus on developing critical thinking, research, and communication skills. You will have access to high-quality learning materials, including online lectures and other resources, as well as a dedicated team of facilitators and influencers who are available to assist you with any questions or concerns that you might have. Enroll today. Call 0702 021 834 or WhatsApp 0760-881-331. Dynamic Media School is an excellent choice for anyone looking to start or advance their career in this exciting and dynamic field. You don't get the life that you deserve, but that which you decide. It's time for you to decide to dominate your life. You don't do that by just having passion, you need a plan. Let's show you how you grow practically in character, competence, and in other areas of life. Welcome back to Bahati.
We should have named this segment Singles Preparation for Marriage. Singles Preparation for Marriage. But we will not scare some of you, because when some of you hear single preparedness, and marriage in the same statement, you start quaking. You're like, what are we getting ourselves into? Do you know that I think we have a scenario where people fear what they want. Because of definitely the surrounding things and what they have had, but they're like, yeah, I'm still single, I'm headed for marriage, but what's there? What's there waiting for me? Like, is it going to work? Well, other people break up after 25 years, after 30 years. And so what, like, it just feels like there's a gladiator or a crocodile waiting for you at the entrance of marriage to eat you. But it's not the case. It's not the case. Relax. Like, relax. Every one of us has their own journey. Life is what you make it.
Yeah, that's right.
Life is what you make it. I didn't want to get married. I had told my mother, capish, no getting married. I don't want anything to do. I remember some guys, even some pastors, would send notes through my mother. Like, you go somewhere to preach, or she goes somewhere to preach or to church, and then they send notes back with her. And then I would get the note and read. For as long as I saw the message was going the wrong way, I would tear it in front of her and tell her, never be the messenger of these things. While some of them were coming in supermarket carrying, and you know, growing from a poor family, they're coming from the front door. You get out in the back door. You go to church, rehearsals. And because I had grown up in a broken family, with some traits of narcissistic tendencies, I felt like it was too volatile an environment, and I felt that, you know what, if I could do one thing and be different from my mother, because my mother had never seen a blackboard, never gone to school, I was like, you know what, the best thing I can do for myself is go to school, get the highest education I can, make my own money, live my own life, and just have fun. And that is, I was programmed like heading that way at a very terrific speed. I remember her looking at me multiple times and saying, I'm praying for you. God will bring a person that is not like your father, or God will bring a person that will adore you and respect you and love you. And I was like, if that person exists, and I feel good about it, I'll give it a chance, but keep praying. And let me tell you, God answered her prayers, like not just 100%, but 150 or 200, I don't know, 1,000%. God answered her prayers, and that's why I still have this conviction that we are redeemable as human beings. As singles can be redeemable. God can flip your mind. God can turn back the clock of time. God can change the orchestration of your life, and God can change even your heart's desire. Because sometimes what we desire is not ours. It's the devil that wants to cover everything that God had prepared for you and wants you to lose out on it and then live a regretful life. So I hope that just like we said, it's a preparation time, we can actually take time and know what we are preparing for and how to actually be steadfast in God ourselves and deeply rooted in God, not in wanting validation from a man or anything from a man, but knowing that we are worth it, and if God gives it to us and it's good, then we should also be able to handle it in a good way and not suffocate it. Do you know people are suffocating their own relationships?
Oh, yes.
They're strangling them and smothering them.
Because these people, I think we have to learn from live examples, like our examples we're in. Many of us have grown up like seeing broken families, even actually your family. But then, if you want something different, please search more for families that have stayed together. I have actually a couple celebrating a golden jubilee. I call them my grannies. They're not actually my grannies, but I'm celebrating it with me. I was in their meeting on Sunday. They're celebrating golden jubilee. 50 years. So whenever I look at them, I've seen their journey, because we grew up in that society. I've seen their journey. I don't believe in anything like, so if these ones made it,
I know there's a chance.
There is a chance. Even if my parents or her parents or his parents didn't make it, I know.
At least there is one.
There is one I'm looking at.
So that should count for something.
That should count for something. I am saying 50 years, oh yes, this is good. You know, I know there are ups and downs and all that, but at least give it your best. You see, people go in marriages and they're like, it is definitely going to break up.
And definitely, if you go in with that mindset, it doesn't.
And why do they go in their marriages with that mindset? It's because that is what is happening in the world.
Yeah.
It is everywhere. You saw Will Smith and Jada. Yeah. I mean, a man fighting for you because someone has insulted you, and you come in camera and you actually say you blame him.
I know.
So where did this leave Will? I know he's not a perfect human being. Where did this
and he'll
leave?
not come on camera to fight for himself.
On Twitter, that whole week, everyone was abusing our gender.
I know. Fear women.
That's gender fear women. and someone said, from this saga, I'm done with this gender.
So you see how people pick up,
go away.
Come in the comment and they're like, yo, but you were still on them. For us,
we left them long time
ago.
The only problem is the one that is commenting is on bed with another one with a
stable marriage.
Yeah.
So even social media is actually misleading a lot. Girls be typing men are trash in someone's chest.
Yes.
You get. So you have to use your wisdom.
Yeah.
If you
think for yourself.
Think for yourself. And you're not going to find someone perfect. 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
You see? Someone saying, someone commented and we're like, I want a hardworking man, God-fearing, with money, and they told her, man, go and just get mold your man, ask God to put life in that thing you've molded. So,
which is impossible.
We are not perfect. As you are not perfect, even your partner is not. So look at that in that angle. That is how we are going to actually go through this thing, and we shall build marriages to golden jubilees. You get.
Yeah, I also, that is very good. But my point to the men,
the men.
Back.
Yeah, I feel like, you see, we have to take back our place as leaders.
Oh yes.
As heads.
As heads.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about marriage, singlehood, and all that. But it has to start from the head. If the head has not taken up their responsibility to rule, to oversee, to lead, then it's all going to crumble.
Yeah.
Yeah. You realize men are always told they are not enough, like so many times.
By who?
Oh, by women.
The girls, the women, fellow men.
Like they're telling them.
They
basing on what? Basing on what?
You see the standards that we have been drawing here. I want a tall, dark.
Oh, yeah.
Now that is already telling someone you are not enough.
That's true.
And you see, as young men, we grow up, trying to live up to the standards that we have been told. And you see, when you get an opportunity,
that was not the case, like long time.
Yeah.
I think even this communication of you're not enough, you see, a man would try and say, okay, this generation women want money. He goes and makes money.
Exactly.
He gives you everything you want. Now you start saying time. The tompa would I mean, the time I have is to make money. I give you the money. Now you're saying time. You get. So he will definitely feel he's not enough. I mean, I don't have time for my woman. So he will start providing the time, and then the money. The money will reduce, of course.
Now, where has friendship gone?
Because
I think when it comes to you was finishing up.
Yeah, I was still finishing up. You see, when someone gets an opportunity, like she has said, you make money, and then you start looking at women as objects. Because because now you have been told you're not enough. Now you feel enough. Power. You have what you call power. You have the money, so you can have any woman that you want.
5 of them.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, when a young man goes around sleeping with these different women, you are releasing a lot of energy to these women. The more you sleep with, the more numbers of women you sleep with, the more energy.
Now we are crossing into body count.
Yes, you are releasing. You see,
releasing energy.
Seed. This is a seed, and what carries the seed? That is a lot of energy.
Okay.
Yes, it's something very, very big. You cannot be wasting it here and there and there. So at the end of the day, you lose all your power, and you cannot lead. You cannot be a ruler without power. Yeah. So you find these weak men, not weak in a sense of strength, but they are weak. They cannot make decisions for themselves. They cannot make decisions for their partner, for their marriages.
They even don't know what's good for them.
Now, if the money is there, exactly. If the money is there, this person is going to get married, but it's going to be a ceremony. and it's going to end there. He's not going to take his place as a man to make those critical decisions to, you know, to take the family ahead. So you find us in that kind of mess. And now, since this girl has been receiving, it also crosses to the other side. She's receiving all this energy. Now she does not need energy
from different.
Exactly. She does not need. Why do you think prostitutes do not get married? They
Some
have
of them do.
Some of them
most
do.
of them do not, because they have received all these things from the men, and then they cannot settle for. See, it's deeper. There's a lot of science in there. There is DNA confusion here and there. Yo, it is deeper. But the reality is we need to take our place as men. We need to come back to that place where you can stand and lead.
And you know that leadership does not begin in marriage.
Yeah,
leadership begins right in the relationship, and not even in the relationship, in self-leadership.
Yourself.
But you see, as you're communicating the leadership, it is also good we communicate it in a different way. I think society, by the ATS, they communicated it in that leadership. You take your place as a man. So this man will be like, I'm the man in this home.
No one will say anything.
No one will say anything. I think the way we have to communicate that leadership and the man taking the place, we have to break it down. We have to break it down.
Understandable bits.
Yes, because it takes me back to what I said, that these men are taught how to lead, but they're leading those women, stay-home mothers. You get
to lead a different species of a woman.
Yes, you're not leading. Now this woman, this generation has brought out feminist empowerment, because I mean you're going to get a woman who is submissive but partly a feminist.
I think we will need to get a whole panel of women to talk about what leading means to them. By the way, do you see how the word submission has confused people?
Exactly.
For so long? And women define submission differently, and some men define submission differently. Even respect. Now, when it comes to leading, now I get your point. And this is an eye-opener. I think when you get a whole panel of men to just talk about what leadership means to them, you'll be surprised what they think leadership means.
Oh, yes.
And what women think leading them means. Because I know a leader when I see one. And I know which leader to respect and which leader to rebel against. Depending on how they handle me. You get it? So that means your leadership style is a trigger to my emotions.
Oh, yes.
So if you're a tyrant, I'm also going to become rebellious. If you're what are they called? Like democratic, then maybe I'm going to be able. But there are women that don't need democratic. There are women who need tyrant leaders.
Yes, but
you know
not
that?
all. Yes,
like they're not disciplined at all. They need the rule of law. This is what you're supposed to. The iron fist.
I think that comes from their family.
That comes from where you grew up.
Yes, where you grew up.
But leadership is very, very, very key. When you talk about it, that men really have to lead, and how to define and break down that leadership into bits that we can be able to understand that, okay, what does leadership? Because when it comes to the vivid seeing of leadership, the men that feel, I don't have money. For example, when I started with my husband, he didn't have the money. But he would be the kind who would tell you, I am not going to escort you to your home. If I have 500 shillings, we're going to buy maize, and you're going to take the biggest, and I'm going to take the smallest. Because the solo yango msajja. And like, for me, that was mind-blowing. That someone can care about that you have not eaten. So many times he would tell me, I was in a restaurant eating and I thought about you and I knew that you didn't have anything to eat and I failed to eat. Like you clearly see that someone is putting you ahead of themselves and wants you to have a good life. And once I know that you have my best interest at heart, I am going to go to the moon and back for you. I am going to pray over you. I am going to be submissive. I'm going to respect you. Why?
Oh, yes.
You're not using a...
makes sense, right?
You're not giving me orders, but you have shown me you care so much about me, and that softens my heart to be able to do that. So leadership is not you ordering and
dictating. See, we have a lot of dictators. Like, it is not only in men, but you can see that people actually take leadership to be dictatorship.
Rule.
Like, yes, if even in workplaces, man, they give you
they give you a title. You swell. You see how you sit. That is how you sit in cafeteria. So you even don't want to sit with anyone.
Some people have really defined leadership in a very wrong way. Like, you're not supposed to be. I think a leader should lead you in your way, not his way.
Okay.
You get. If my way is this, I'm saying my schedule on the weekend, I go out with the girls, I come back midnight. So sit me down. If you're my leader, if you're my leader, sit me down. I'll be like, now, baby, this is not right. Yes, babe. This is not right. You know, maybe you have a kid. You know, we have a kid who needs your attention. So coming back midnight is wrong. Maybe, how do you see if you come back like at 9 or 10? Think about it.
Imagining an African man.
So now there is difference between African leadership and...
Exactly. So if you give me the room to really think about it, I'm going to be okay. So I come back, you know, with a changed mind. But if you stand and tell me, Madam, girls the day out, what is that? You're going nowhere. I want to find you home. I'm like, who are you to tell me that? Is it your money? Is it your, because I mean I'm looking at this marriage whereby I have my money, you have your money. You found me with my car, I found you with your car. There is no way you're going to tell me I drive my car in my names.
Come back at
that leadership will not work.
That leadership will not place of cultivating relationship, friendship.
Yeah.
Because if I married my friend, I could even take him to girls' night.
Now let me tell you something. Friendship and marriage.
Have a demarcation.
You see when when you're in a relationship, you're a friend to your guy.
Yeah.
But if this guy crosses from a boyfriend to a husband
and puts a ring on it,
it is going to be different.
What do you mean it's going to be different?
No, I think what she's trying to say, you know how they say that bad manners multiplies in marriage, and sometimes I want to maybe cackle when they're in a relationship, they're more agreeable, but they're like, let me, and when I put a ring on it, but they've been seeing these good traits. They're not saying anything about them, and now they are waiting. There are people who are like that. They are waiting until you're married so that they can, it will dawn on you that everything stops now. We start a totally new chapter where I'm the dictator and you are the dictatee.
That's
but even the level, even the level.
Not to dictate now when you're still.
But no, even the level he has elevated.
Dictate in a relationship.
So that's
Edmond,
but coming back home at midnight and you're my wife and I'm home with the kids, yo.
No, that is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Like, you're going to stand in her face and be like, yo, where are you coming from?
You want to come back
African
home?
man is not an excuse.
No,
you're a man.
I'm a man.
Not African man.
Maybe because I want us to erase the Hollywood fantasy and all that. I'm a man. I'm an African man. You're not coming back home every weekend at midnight and you find me with the kids and I'm okay with it. No, that's not how it works.
So how are you going to talk to me about it?
That is where the friendship comes in.
Exactly. And if I feel like we are talking and it's not working out, then I'm going to dictate, because at the end of the day, someone
how are you going to dictate? Because if she feels that you are talking and it's not going her way, she's also going to rebel.
Yeah, she's going to.
So you dictate, she rebels.
But then
where is the home?
If she has taken the place of rebellion, then she's not a submissive wife.
If you've taken the place of dictatorship, yeah.
But this is
that
wrong.
Means you're not a leader.
That's why I'm a leader, is to make her right. This is wrong. You are leaving your husband at home. You're coming back home at midnight. You're from the girls' night out. And you're doing that every weekend?
No. Can you have a sane conversation like she talked about?
Yeah, we can.
Can you have a sane conversation?
Yeah,
and if it's
when
not
that
working,
fails, then go to therapy.
We want to see where your dictatorship comes in.
Well, if it's not working, after you talk to her,
how are you going to dictate?
Like you call her babes and then you talk about conversation.
No, I call her by her
right.
name.
By her name?
Yeah.
If what?
If things are not Roman, this is wrong.
Oh my God!
Sometimes we have to make.
So your love
things
shifts when she's not
No. But if I call you your name in a relationship.
Yeah, you
that's
know
wrong.
there is something wrong.
I just want
No,
to
you know
prove a
there is
point.
something wrong,
If
by
I call
the
your
way.
name,
In
then
a
you know,
relationship.
Yeah.
You can't call me Percy. You can't. Unless you're so angry at me.
But that's wrong. I think standards must be held. When you're friends, if you're really, really friends, standards must be held. You don't have to get out of the bracket of friendship because there is anger. You should be friends even when you're angry.
Yeah, I call you Nakaziwe, actually. Not Percy.
I wouldn't.
Why?
Because I feel like...
Anyway,
now
please, go on. Tell us where your dictatorship comes in.
I want to talk from a point of...
Now, you know, you have emotions to tame Edmond.
I have a dying point.
No, okay, I'm not talking about dictating, you know, do this. Now we are saying it's wrong.
Yeah, but...
Let's start from there. Whatever you're doing is wrong. Let's start from
So you call her Nakaziwe?
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Nakaziwe.
African man avuddeyo.
Okomyewo nnyo ekiro.
Ekyo kikyamu. Tutandikira awo.
But you see how you're saying it's a sham. I don't think you'd say that
you
when
would be
you're
mad.
really
When you're angry. So that means we are not seeing the true stature of Edmond right now.
Okay, this is
The African man has not
Maybe
yet come
maybe
out.
he's naturally
You see,
calm.
when the
That is the
African man
African.
comes out, this guy is simply going to tell you, if you do it again, you're going to pack your
No,
Toda.
that is wrong. Okay, I don't believe in that. I don't believe. I believe in...
I don't think you've seen rebellious women.
I believe you have your person, work the ups and downs,
Yeah.
and make that person the person that you want.
Oh.
You want like that person that you've, you know, try to talk things out. It is very hard for a man to start over. You people, you think you leave this girl and then you now throwing vibes to this one.
I'm glad
It
you
is
know
very
that it's
hard.
hard.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
hard.
hard. You're starting from the
Zero.
molecular level.
I know.
You get from the atomic level,
Yeah.
taking her to this, you try to avoid.
To becoming a sister,
Crying.
to looking
You
at
know,
her.
you don't even know how
Wait,
she
Olola.
prays. You don't even know how she prays.
You don't know whether she speaks in
In
tongues.
tongues.
We don't know if it's
Whether
some
she's
kind of a-
spirit dripping.
And then you start teaching her all these things. So it is quite hard. So if we have cultivated our relationship and we are somewhere, we should be able to hold those conversations,
Anything.
even the ones that are not comfortable.
Yeah.
This is wrong. This
Still calling her babes and honey.
yeah, babes. Yeah, sometimes.
You've agreed now.
Nakaziwe
Somewhat.
Sometimes Nakaziwe, you have to be friends. You call me Cheyune and I'm okay with it, you know.
Guys, may I have something, Barney? Because
Banners.
you can't, we cannot say that, okay, was that thing hypothetical or we are looking at something that has really happened? Like you leave a man at home and you go out and you come back at midnight.
That is your plan for the weekend.
No, there are people who do that.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that if you're not happy with it, then you wouldn't marry her. Because in the first place, when you're dating, you communicate, you're like, babe, where are you? Like, I'm in an overnight.
There are things
I've
that
traveled to this.
Okay.
Or like, you keep in communication. So you're like, unakube chidongo, sigara musobola. So you don't marry them.
Yeah, yeah.
Or if you're asking me, Percy, where are you? And I tell you I'm in church, you're like, hey, she prays overnight. So maybe I don't know, you get to understand your person before you marry them. Because
but there are people who expect that you're going to dump everything after
Oh,
marriage.
yes.
There are people who expect that you're going, so they don't communicate, but they have an expectation. It's an uncommunicated expectation.
Also, as women, we have to learn that now the single you is not going to be that. You entering the marriage.
You don't go
means,
the raw version of you.
Yes, it means you have to really sacrifice some things. You get, Percy, if you really love your overnight, your pastor is always there. That is when he releases fire. If you go in a marriage, you're not going to leave your husband in bed.
That is
with
why
your kids.
That is why I need a husband that we share values with.
We are going to pray together.
That is why I need a husband that we share values with. For example, I'll give you I'll give you an example of mine. I'm a person in a very funny industry that I'm going to be scheduled for flights at 3 a.m. My boyfriend knows. And by the time he says, yes, babe, I want to marry you, he knows that. And we talk about it before we get to marriage. So if he's not okay with my overnights, or if he's not okay with my 3 a.m. shift, we get a way to work it out. You get? So you cannot tell me that I'm going to leave my husband in the bed to go for an overnight. He knew that before we got married, and probably we had values that we share. That yes, we love our God, we pray from the same church, we submit to the same ministry, we serve in church. Serving grows you as a person. I hope you all know that. So if serving grows you as a person, there are team nights that are going to happen at church, and we are both going to be there. If we both value our church, if we both value our relationship with Christ.
Do you know that marriage changes some people?
Yes.
That they, not the other way, but marriage changes some people.
Marriage
Like they were with you, you were moving and everything was okay. All of a sudden, for them, they expect when I get into marriage, then I should be tough. Then I should be
because they have elevated.
Then I should just go to
from
boyfriend
and
to husband.
That's the thing, is you have to be very clear. There's a friend of mine that recently told me in a marriage fellowship that when she made that he made the decision that he wants to marry this this lady, he took her to a beach somewhere and sat down, wrote word for word about what he expected in marriage. He was like, you know what, I expect a hot meal at the end of that day. And that hot meal has to have meat in it, like every single day. And whether I come back midnight or whether we have gone out and we have come back, for me, I want. And by the way, that happened to also my husband. He's the kind who will take you out every single day of the week. But whenever he goes home, he needs his food, like homemade food. And we agreed to that. I will give you your homemade food, I will eat out. You get it? And like it has to come to that clarity where you just don't leave things in the gray zone, where everything is definitely not everything will be black and white, but at least sort out the most important
you address
things.
them.
Yes, especially about career, about ministry.
Yeah.
You know, some men is like, some of them are even insecure, but they are not telling you. So now they are like, before marriage, after marriage, the way I can see Brother Godfrey looking at her, the way I can see Pastor so and so looking at her, before you know it, he has even failed you from going to your own church.
By the way,
that you have to totally change church, or you even quit church. And yet you were both Christians.
And he prays from that church?
Yes.
So we both quit that church?
Of course, because whenever you go and say hi to brother so and so, look at how he was looking at you. I knew he wanted you when you were single, and now he even wants you when you're married.
Wow.
People never change. So he will keep bringing those thorns every single Sunday until he'll be like, you know what, I've stopped going there. For peace of mind, let me go to another church or let me stay home. Things have happened. So that means self-leadership comes from the relationship, where you see someone is disciplined and they are people of their word. If the moment you see them standing to change, they are chasing us out of here. But I know, but I mean, you really have to set the record straight.
Oh yes, I remember when our first season, I said, and I will still say that, I move with that. I want someone who communicates their expectations from me.
So you don't have to second guess.
Communicate that you want a hot meal.
If, people who know me know that I'm not a person of flowers.
So you will communicate, give me money, give me money.
Then I am not a person of flowers. So when you bring me flowers, I just automatically know you don't know me. You get? So if I communicate to you that now we are entering a relationship, but on my birthday, please don't bring flowers. At least bring that bouquet that has money or that has meat.
Bring a khaki.
I love meat. Bring a khaki. Okay, I'm not being material.
Land title.
I've heard
such
that,
things.
But also for the young ladies out there, please, once in a while, give your man some money.
No, I concur with that. I concur with that. Because as a woman,
money.
you're not going to start gifting money in marriage, even in a relationship. Mugambe, babe, it's my treat.
Give us
you
money.
know? Pay the bill.
As we are closing,
Okay, we have to go.
As Maria Keshbex, I want to tell every girl out there, make money. Make money.
Money is sweet.
If you have your money, it is sweet. By the way, men don't disrespect you.
And then you have money.
You have not seen a man who disrespects you.
Oh yes, they're there. But do you know
but the only thing is you have an option.
Do you know
that you're not dependent
those men? If you see this man who concentrates on himself, every time perfume, every time gym, that one is going to disrespect you because, of course, as a woman...
Fisha, are you speaking out of experience? Are you speaking out of what?
Okay.
Kale, make your money.
Make your money, by the way, it's so important because you need this money your partner, you don't have to over rely on your partner.
Give your man some money.
Yes. And when you make this money,
also accept money from your man.
That
one. We love you guys. Bless you, bless you.
Thank you for watching.